So it's set on the fastest lap times from qualifying and race 1 and 2. We then send
mate's
them.
forgot his racing socks. Look,
He has too.
hope the Motorsport New Zealand don't see that. That could be like Balaclava Gate.
It could be Sockgate this time round.
Yeah.
So they'll send the likes of Dean Perkins and John Midgley and Shane Wixton to the back. So it gives Janine Douglas the pole position, start aboard the Commodore alongside the little Chevy Nova of Paul Noden. Now they'll leave when the lights go out. A further 22 seconds later, the next row will move. Another 12 seconds later, the next row move, and so on until we get to the back of the field here. So it'll be a bit messy in the beginning, but we'll be watching the faster guys charge their way through to hopefully be at the pointy end by the end of the 10th lap.
Yeah, they'll leave in waves. We've seen that similar before in Aussie race car racing,
Yeah.
so those who are familiar with it, that's what we're going to get. Hopefully, by the end of the race, they'll all be together.
We saw Paul Clark yesterday, the 49 machine, get caught up in an incident. It was one of those bizarre moments. He made contact, which was enough to knock the kill switch off.
Okay, that's happened before.
Yeah, but it's a bit odd that it happens.
Happens in the stadium trucks a bit. When you
yeah.
land, it can bump off, so it's one to be aware of. It's the first thing you probably should always check when you lose power.
So the team have decided to turn the toggle switch on the inside now of the car rather than the outside.
Good move, lads.
Technical move. As the first group of cars, well, that's gone a bit too early, I think, therefore.
I think he's gone on the... And what's he done? He's the Lone Ranger.
So Janine's allowed to go there for 22 seconds with nobody on the front row. So that was right. The next group have got an agonising wait here of 22 seconds.
Old school, Kiwi flag waves.
The flag is down. So the next group of cars go away. Another 12 seconds later, the next couple of rows will move away. So Janine Douglas gets a fairly hefty start here aboard the Commodore. And the rest of the field waits. The next flag goes down. And we'll see the likes of the 18 machine head off down the track. Head back into some of the old school cool machines heading down, and the next flag drops down. So the time we get into this, it's going to be peak hour by about lap 6. So a couple more of the Commodores get going. And now we start to head back towards the Beale Walkinshaw. The 48 machine gets away.
Up against the Mustang.
And this is a much angrier pack of cars.
And the Tribute Chickadee car gets a good flying start.
Bailey and Grice car that disappears, and now, so here's the leader coming around to complete the lap as the fast cars now leave the grid.
Okay, so that's been worked out on qualifying and race times from the events we've had so far.
Keep in mind, some of these cars are about 8 to 10 seconds a lap quicker than the ones with the front field. There's Grant Dalton in the 35 machine, a tribute to the great Red Dawson from this part of the world that ran in the 70s. They head down the back straight for the first time. We should see the leader in the background of that shot pretty soon. Shane Wixton, the Century Batteries HQ Monaro, has started towards the back at a 28th position. Tony Galbraith in the Charger. I don't think there's anyone that doesn't like a Charger. They're cool cars.
Well, you can be a Holden and a Ford fan and still like a Charger.
Still like a Charger. So they're away, kicking up with the dirt down here towards the hairpin. That was enough to unsettle the HQ Monaro. That's Bruce Anderson ahead. Lots of experience over the years. He raced with Dick Johnson on the New Zealand endurance scene back in the 80s, and even a couple of Bathurst 1000 starts as well. There's your race 1 winner from yesterday, Dean Perkins at the back of the field, and here's the leader currently coming down to the hairpin. Expect that to change.
The Tirana doing a bit of grass cutting.
And a bit of damage to the front of it too.
Yeah, it looks like the front balance or splitter.
And that was Sean Fowler.
Taking the brake ducts out as well. So maybe happened when he went across the grass. Or maybe the curb before that corner took that out.
He was third in the Group 1 championship last year. You can identify the Group 1 cars by the red windscreen banner across the top. And the blue windscreen banner is the Group 2 cars, which are more in showroom condition.
Okay, that's a good point. Thanks for pointing that out, mate. I was trying to work that out.
He said leave the technical stuff to me. I thought it was the other way around, but I'll take control. And the boys are on the back there. Midgley was going down the inside of Perkins. And that's still going on with Bruce Anderson.
Happy birthday, Jacko.
Great time to have it here at the races. He puts it down the inside here at the Husqvarna hairpin, the slowest point of the track.
No socks, Dalton.
It actually would be getting cold.
Yeah, I don't know. Just hope he doesn't catch on fire because he's going to get burnt feet.
There he goes. We watched his feet work yesterday. Just very gentle with the power application aboard this 1970 Chevy Camaro with one of the many NASCAR engines we hear out in the field that are synonymous with this Central Muscle Car Series. And they came to Mount Panorama for the 1,000 support races over there this year, and they were very, very well behaved, and so much so I think we'll see them back there next year.
It was an awesome event. Had the crowd in the paddock area just looking at these cars all weekend like it was a show and shine, and then they took them out and raced them as well, so it was worth going to Bathurst just to watch that for sure.
Sometimes you get nervous seeing those cars, how cool they look. It's now Perkins.
Oh, around the outside.
They split him.
Two here.
The two Falcons.
He might get the Monaro as well. Oh, it just gives him enough room.
Well, they've got to get going because they're back in 20th and 22nd position and 53 seconds behind the leader. They're not making up the ground that they thought they would.
No, they're all in traffic fighting each other, and they really should be just working together trying to catch the front pack. So probably best to have a cup of tea, talk about some strategy before they go out there next time.
As Tony Galbraith been watching in the 43, the Charger back there, former New Zealand Speedway champion 2 times over. For a country the size of New Zealand, there's a lot of talent, a lot of quality drivers in this part of the world.
Well, it just comes back to the amount of racetracks in such a small area. So within 2.5 hours drive of Auckland, you've got 3 racetracks.
It's pretty impressive.
Yep.
And a lot of them have a dirt track speedway background. Race across both Targa racing as well, rallies.
Yeah, speedway is very popular here as well. Most towns have got a speedway.
We almost made it to the speedway last night, but old age is catching up with both of us, I think.
Yep. Caught up with me, or it might have been the night before.
Through they come. Halfway home, this one here's the Tirana. So Douglas has still got a 16-second lead back to Fowler. Further 3/10 to Midgley, but the fast guys like Wigston, Galbraith, Perkins are all back in 21st position, but they found 10 seconds on that lap alone. So here they come.
Yeah, a bit of clear traffic. They've realised they've got to get on with it.
What's your thoughts on having the newer cars? When I say newer, like the mid-80s Commodores and Falcons in there.
Oh, you got to, because you got to engage the next generation of fans. So to people in their 20s and 30s, they're old cars. To me, they're not, but to other people, they are. So get them in there, keep the people involved, and keep the evolution coming.
And it's a series will continue on forever because the cars will get older, we'll get older, and there's plenty of race cars sitting around in sheds right around the country.
Lots of race cars in New Zealand, and New Zealand guys like to tinker. They're fantastic at doing something different. So you find most of these cars will be built by guys in their sheds or garages, or local guys will get together and just come up with something different. And the rules allow them to express themselves, which is what I like about this category.
Yeah, a lot more freedoms than what we see back home. As Perkins now is going with Wigston, so maybe he's just saying, Wigston, you push the traffic through, I'll go with you. The Century Batteries HQ Monaro, the up to 15th position now, as Douglas is now 11 seconds ahead of Fowler. What's the margin going to be when they come through this time? The likes of Wigston, Hopkins and Perkins are now inside 34 seconds coming across the line with 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go.
They've got the work cut out for them.
So it could be a 1-lap screamer once they get up inside the top 5. You're seeing from the 70s and 80s watching right now the Walkinshaw Commodore. You've got the HQ Monaro and the tribute cards, the 86 Bathurst winner.
And here comes Perkins. Let's see what he can do here under brakes.
So this will get him up now towards the top 10.
Slides are on in. He'll take one.
Here he goes.
Tempting.
VK Commodores gets up on the curve down there as out of turn 6 they come to run to the hairpin. So Wigston, who started back in 28th position, now in unlucky for some, number 13. There's plenty of cars still ahead as Douglas has gone on through to start the next lap. 11 seconds to Fowler.
Yeah, Ross has just done the fastest lap of the race, so he's seen Perkins coming behind him, and he's dropped the hammer, runs a bit wide over the top of the hill. Perkins gets balked by the slower traffic.
And now Wigston finds himself 10th, and the gap is 15 seconds to the leader. It's another 1 or 2 laps, and this is going to be on.
Yeah, 15 seconds, he's pulling out nearly 8 seconds a lap, so he should nail him.
That's the 888 of Calvin Andrew is about to go past. So Andrew is in 9th spot.
Perkins just not getting the brakes in the traffic.
Allowed a bit of track space now to Wigston, who's got another 3 or 4 cars line up. He should get them by the end of this lap. Midgley in the distance there as well. Douglas is 7 seconds clear of Lance Midgley now. But we're watching the fast guys slicing their way back from the last row of the grid. They're inside the top 10 here on lap 7. Just a sea of traffic wherever you look right now, but they're all giving each other plenty of racing space. No one's made any contact so far.
So far, you can see a couple of the guys. No, the faster guys are coming. They're just pointing which direction they want them to go. And the idea of this race is just get to the end the shortest possible time. So scrapping with a guy who's 4 or 5 seconds a lap faster than you doesn't really make much sense.
So the fast guys are there. They're inside the top 8. We're on lap 8 of the NZ Central Muscle Cars, race number 2. Another one to come up later today. There is Wigston and there is Perkins in the background of the shot. The Century Batteries HQ Monaro has left Perkins and Midgley now. And on the charge, on the run down to turn number 5 here.
So he'll grab him by the run to the hairpin. Opens the corner up. Gives him the ideal line.
So that's Mason ahead, and that was...
Yeah, Perkins clears Anderson.
That's the honour machine, the 429.
Oh, okay.
Yes, very similar. Caught me out yesterday as well. Sweeping on through, so Perkins inside the top 10. 2 laps to go. Pretty impressive stuff, though. Even though they're 8 or 9 seconds a lap quicker, they've still got to get through the traffic.
It does balk, and you can see, especially Perkins just caught the traffic at the wrong time and ruined his run down the back straight, which cost him a lot of time.
Coming up now towards Mason. So this is the race leader. They've got past Douglas, who dropped down to 7th. So the number 70, Ray White Real Estate Chevy Camaro, is about to be challenged for the lead here in the closing stages of race number 2. Another one of the Ken Hopper constructed cars. He's an iconic car builder from New Zealand. And it's amazing. 413 cubic inch car, and he spins right in front of the leader. Pretty much handed it to him, so the pressure got to him.
It got to him, and then Wigston rolls the fastest lap of the race. That time by as well. So into the low 9s.
And it's now clear sailing ahead. First and second after starting from the rear are up there now. Just locked the rear brakes, and it was enough to unload the Chevy Camaro. It's still very greasy out on the outside of the circuit with the amount of rain we've had overnight.
Yeah, very wet underfoot here. Grass is still damp.
And through they come.
Okay, can Perkins run him down?
Well, he's going to have to make it happen now with 11 turns remaining. 1.8 seconds, first to second, as he muscles the HQ Monaro.
So identical lap times that time through. Both guys in the 10.2s. A lap to go. I think Wigston's pretty much can just roll it home from here. Perkins hasn't given up trying, has he? Just lays the boot in it.
Well, the script couldn't have been written any better, because these two are fierce rivals in the Central Muscle Car Series. Wigston's a multi-time Group 1 champion in the Central Muscle Car Series.
He just worked the traffic better, or got luckier breaks through the traffic, which has allowed him to, I reckon, take this win out.
Good job to Greg Honour as well. He come from 23rd spot on the grid. He's going to hold on to a top 3 position. But Wigston accelerating out of the second last turn now. From the back row of the field in this handicap race, the Century Batteries HQ Monaro dances up the curve.
He still hasn't given up. He's having a great time here.
Slides his way on the final turn, and unlike Perkins, he keeps control of it, and he will win the handicap race of the NZ Central Muscle Cars here at Pukekohe Park on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Great job by the handicappers who worked that out.
The rest of the field still coming through. It's Calvin Andrew. And these guys are down the field a bit. The Chickadee car, the replica car in the mix as well.
He's going to have a run up the inside. This will be 3 wide across the line here.
Oh, he's trying.
Here we go.
It's going to be 3 wide almost the line. And does he get him? Oh, he does. The Chickadee car gets it on the line. And that was well outside the 15.
That's a cool thing to do on a Sunday morning, isn't it? Come
Absolutely.
out here and have some fun doing that. So
Very cool. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm sure you did too.
oh yeah, really did.
Wigston ahead of
Crowd
Perkins
did.
from the back of the field. I know the fans were digging it too. Honor was third. Midgley ahead of Lance Midgley, his cousin. Then it was Ross, John Mills, Clark Hopkins. Grant Dalton inside the top 10 with Brendan Mason. 20 seconds back. Remember, they got him with 2 laps to go. Bruce Anderson was 11th, back to Tony Boyden. Ian Easton is back in the Central Muscle Car Series. And Janine Douglas from pole position finished in 20th.